Hi, fifth graders. Welcome back. Today's lesson is going to be for December the 10th, and you're going to be using this foldable that's in your bundle. It's going to say mean, median, mode, and range on it. And the first thing we're going to do is fold it in half the long way, like a little book. You're going to need a pen, and eventually we're going to need a scissors. So let's go through, get those materials, pause the video, and then I'm going to have you follow along with the video, and we're going to create this. This is going to be a resource for us to use as you're working on your mean, median, mode, and range math problems. Sometimes students get confused on which of these terms they're trying to find in a set of data of numbers. So it's helpful to be able to use this as a resource to go back and what was the median again? And then you can kind of go through and look and get some ideas on how you're supposed to handle things. So I'm going to have you pause the video, get the materials that you need, and then you can resume it. And I'm going to get mine set up with my doc cam so we can take a look at the document here and get set. All right, so I started out my first one here, and I want you to fill in on your, let me get my doc cam set a little bit higher. Start on yours too. We want to be thinking when we're doing the mean that it's the average or leveling out of numbers. And to find that, we add all of the numbers up, and we're going to divide by the number of values in our set of data. So I did an example over here where you can see I have 8 math problems, 8 numbers in my set of data, 94, 86, 92, 100, 99, 91, 99, and 83. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 pieces of data. So if I add all of these up, and you can get out your calculator and work through it as well. You're going to get 744 as our sum. Remember, the sum is the answer to our addition problem. So 744. Now, we've done step 1. Step 2, we need to divide by the number of values. So if I take this and I'm going to divide it by 8 pieces of data, I'm going to get an answer of 93. So my average or my mean is going to be 93. So if I take all of these numbers and I set them out, let's say these were cookies, and I take a few from the 100 and add them to my 83, and I take a few from the 99 and put them in my 86 and kind of redistribute all those cookies, it's going to level everything out. I'm going to have a mean or an average of 93. Okay. Now, if we look at the next set in our foldable, we're looking at the median. And what is the median? The median we want to be thinking is the middle value of our set of numbers. Whichever one is in the middle. And there's not always going to be one exactly in the middle. So we're going to have to deal with how do you find that? So the best way to do it is put numbers in order. So we're going to order them from least to greatest. And then we're going to mark off the high and low values until we reach that middle. Okay. And sometimes there's not a middle. Like in this case, we have 8 numbers. There's not going to be one in the middle. Like if we had 7, we'd have one exactly in the middle. So if there's 2 middle numbers, we need to add them and divide by 2. Basically, what we're doing is finding the mean of our middle set to find our median. So I'm going to take all of these numbers I have up here and I'm going to put them in order from smallest to largest. If I'm looking at my top data set, my smallest is 83. Then my next one in order would be 86. And then let's see, 91. and 92 and 94, 99, and then I got 99 again, and then 100. So I'm going to have 100 over off on the side here. But as you can see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I always double check to make sure I didn't accidentally miss one or put one in twice. So if we cross them off on the low end and the high end until we reach the middle, we're going to have these two in the middle here. Okay, so we need to find the middle of them. Now we can add these two together and get 186 and divide by 2, which is going to give us 93. Or what I can do is, well, what's between 92 and 94? Well, 93 is right in the middle. So I can look at it that way. Now, it comes in handy to be able to add these two together and divide by 2, especially if these two are really far apart. Like maybe this is an 86 and that's a 95. It's a lot easier to do it. But with this one, when they're right next to each other, 92 and 94, we know that 93 is in the middle, and we're trying to find the middle value. So if there are 2 in the middle, which we had, one of the easiest things to do is divide by 2. Add them together first and divide by 2. So you can use these strategies to help you when you're finding the median. Now, the next thing in our Foldable is the mode. Whenever I'm thinking mode, I'm thinking most. I'm going to underline the O because there's most has an O in it, and so does mode. So in this case, we are putting the numbers in order from least to greatest, which we've already done. And then we are trying to find a number that appears the most. And there might be more than one mode, or there may be none. Sometimes there isn't a mode in your set of data. So sometimes your answer on that one is going to be none, depending on if you have any that repeat. So if I look at this, I'm going to put them in order again, 83, 86. The nice thing is I already have it done in my other example. 91, 92, 94, 99, 99, and 100. So if I look at that, these two repeat. So the number that appears most often in that set of data is 99. And sometimes, depending on what you're looking for, sometimes that's the number that you want is the mode. Other times you might want the average or the mean, depending on the situation. If you want one that appears most often or the most common, in this case, it would be 99. Now, the last data landmark that we're looking for is the range. In this one, we want to think difference or subtract. So I'm going to put a subtraction sign here. Difference means subtract when we're talking mathematically. So to find the range, you're going to put them in order from least to greatest, and you're going to subtract the lowest number from the highest number. So in our example, we had 83 was the lowest, if you remember, if we put them in order here. Okay. And our highest was 100. So really what we're doing is taking 100 and subtracting 83, which is going to give me 17 as my answer. Okay, and you can always check your work. You can always use your calculator. 100 minus 83, yep, 17. So I did this part in my head. You might want to use a calculator to work through that as well. But the last step in this foldable is we're going to cut right on the dotted line just to that fold. All the way up to your fold. And now we have a resource that we can use. So if I want to find the mean, I'm looking strictly at these two rectangles here on that, so I don't get confused by anything else below it. If I need to find the median, I can flip this tab. Oh yeah, it's the middle number. I'm going to put them in order, find the middle of those. And if there's two in the middle, and there's not always, sometimes there's exactly an odd number. There might be 7 numbers here, and you're going to have one smack dab in the middle. If these two numbers were the same, let's say this was 92 and that's 92, then my median would be 92. So, if they're different, we can add them together and divide by 2. When I'm doing the mode, now I'll be able to have this tab open and the others closed. Remember, it's the most, putting them in order from smallest to largest and looking for ones that appear the most. Sometimes there's more than one. Let's say this was a 91 and this was a 91. I would circle 91 and 99 and have 2 modes. Or this might have been 98 and I wouldn't have had any of them that repeated more than once, and I would have had no mode or none. So you're going to have to look at that. That's going to depend. So in tomorrow's assignment, you're going to be finding the mean, median, mode, and range. And you're going to use this as a resource. So make sure you put this in the safe spot so you don't lose it. And now today, you are going to finish spiral 8 from yesterday and work on that. Once again, if you have any questions, please let me know.